Natal Mars retrograde. In this video, I'm going to be discussing natal Mars retrograde, important takeaways, everything you need to know about someone having their natal Mars retrograde, and I'm going to be really breaking this down in detail, okay? Make sure you stick around all the way to the end because I'm going to really give you some gems and help you to understand what this means. When you have natal Mars retrograde, you were born when transit Mars was retrograde. Okay, so when you took your first breath, transit Mars was currently retrograde at that time. Mars represents our will, sex drive, desires, physical energy, and motivations. How we go after what we want, essentially, right? So that's what Mars represents: our will, sex drive, desires, physical energy, and motivations, and how we go after what we want. Retrograde represents a time period of reflecting and reassessing matters. So it matters more what sign and house your natal Mars retrograde is in. And the reason why it matters more what sign and house your natal Mars retrograde is in is because it tells you what type of matters you're going to be reflecting and reassessing on in your life. What type of matters you're going to spend a lot of time reflecting on, right? For example, someone with Mars in Capricorn in the second house and it's retrograde, right? So when I look at someone, like if I was to see someone's chart and they have this placement, like I was going to do a reading for them and I see that they have this placement, I see that this is a native that is going to spend a lot of time reflecting on the whole concept of being disciplined. Mars in Capricorn means that you're supposed to direct a lot of your energy into being disciplined, being business minded, being the type of person that is structured, the type of person that is ambitious, right? Hardworking, just disciplined, and just all about career and career success. So, but it's retrograde. So this person is going to spend a lot of time reflecting on, like, what does it mean to be disciplined? What does it mean to go after career success? And they may question themselves a lot. They may question if they even want to do that. And they may question their abilities to discipline themselves and achieve the success that they want. And then having Mars in the second house retrograde, Mars in the second house just by itself, like if it's direct, has to do with directing a lot of energy into making money, right? When someone has their Mars in the second house, they should be directing a lot of their energy into making their own money. But you see, the fact that it's retrograde, this native is going to reflect and reassess, like, how do I do that? Well, if I'm going to make money, dang, but how am I going to make money? What type of things am I going to make money in? How do I keep money? So you see so this native is going to spend a lot of time reflecting on reassessing what it means to discipline themselves to be able to make their own money and keep their own money. Okay, so this is how you put all of the pieces together and you see all of the associations and what it means for the native. Okay, so this is what it means when someone has their Mars in Capricorn in the second house retrograde. It means spending a lot of time reflecting on discipline and how to go after your ability to make your own money. Having natal Mars retrograde, it makes you tend to repress your desires, right? Retrograde, and whenever a planet is retrograde, it makes you tend to repress the energy of that sign. You don't outwardly express the energy of that planet, right? So when you have natal Mars retrograde, this is something that you have to overcome, like you feeling like you have to repress your desires and what you want. You may have difficulty going after what you want in life out of fear or not knowing how to assert yourself. So a lot of times when people have natal Mars retrograde is they know they want certain things and they have certain desires, but they don't act on it out of fear, or they just don't know how to assert themselves. Like, for example, they might have a desire to play football, but then they're like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I really want to do that. Oh man, it's like, that's kind of hard. I don't really like all the discipline and everything that I have to put into it. And then they don't act on it and they don't do what they're supposed to do. They repress themselves. You may struggle with low will, low drive and passion in life. Mars represents our will, our drive and passion in life. And people tend to have low will, low drive and passion when they have natal Mars retrograde. It is like they have to give themselves that extra push to go after what they want and to have passion in life. It's not something that comes easy to them. It's something that they have to really make effort to push themselves towards what they want and to have that drive and passion. You may question what your true desires and motivations are a lot. Again, Mars has to do with our desires and motivations. So when you have this placement, you may question what your true desires and motivations are a lot. You're always reflecting on what your true desires and motivations are. Biggest takeaway: you have to learn how to take action and go after what you want in a healthy and positive way. This is the biggest takeaway: is you have to take action in life. You can't just sit around repressing your desires, sitting around not taking action. You're not going after what you want. You have to take action in life. You can't just sit on your hands and not go after what you want. You have to go after what you want, but in a healthy and positive way. You may struggle with being clumsy and getting into accidents and fights a lot too. A lot of times I notice when people have their natal Mars retrograde, they tend to be clumsy and they get into accidents and fights a lot, and they have to overcome that. Celebrity example, Martin Luther King Jr. Now, this was interesting to find out that Martin Luther King has natal Mars retrograde. Not only does he have natal Mars retrograde, he has his natal Mars in Gemini. So the Mars in Gemini part makes sense because you see he directed a lot of his energy into being a communicator. That's what he was known for, being a communicator. Gemini rules communication, right? So that's what he directed a lot of his energy into being a great communicator. But him having it retrograde, it makes sense that he was such a reflective man and he would reflect on his thoughts a lot, and how to communicate in a very effective way. And yeah, because you can tell, like, if you look at, his letter from Birmingham jail, he was he just always wrote letters and he would express himself and just take his time figuring out how he was going to express himself in the correct way, right? So that's how you see how that plays out. Email me if you still have more questions. And if you still don't understand, my email is astrologyztv@gmail.com. And thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Take care.